Hi, everyone, and welcome to episode 49 of the Essential Zodiac Podcast. I'm your host, Cynthia McNulty.
And I'm Audrey Fannin.
Today, we are going to talk about the new moon in Sagittarius, which occurs on December 12th. The year is really slipping away.
Isn't it?
I know, right? Especially for me, because I'm already working on 2024. So, when you're the astrologer, it's like you're living in two worlds. But before we begin, I want to mention that there's a lot of offers on my website to help with your holiday gift giving. I also have gift certificates for those hard to buy for friends and family. So check it out. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to email me at easypodcast@yahoo.com. And that's E as in Edward, Z as in zebra, podcast@yahoo.com. So now the new moon in Sagittarius, as I said, arrives on December 12th. It's a mixed kind of new moon with a variety of astrological influences. Last year's new moon in Sagittarius was a solar eclipse, and this year's is your standard new moon. But ideally, we've learned a lot about our needs with the recent eclipse set in the Sagittarius areas of our chart. Also, this new moon is a fire sign, so there's an undertone of energy and drive, and it may bring a burst of motivation or inspiration. And that's a good set of energy to have, especially during the winter months. Today, as I'm recording this episode, it's kind of cold and rainy. And honestly, I'd like to be home under my blanket with a cup of tea and a good book. So the new moon in a couple of weeks will bring motivation to me and to all of us to work with. With the moon in the sign of Sagittarius, it is ruled by Jupiter, which right now is orbiting retrograde in Taurus. So it adds a grounded, practical quality to the energy as well. But remember, we are dealing with retrograde, so things might be a little sluggish and muddy. You might weigh the desire to move and act against the need to make meaningful choices and to put your energy into something that fulfills you. So Jupiter is moving slowly as it prepares to station direct at the end of December. So as I said, this adds, a slowness to the energy, and you might have trouble getting motivated and going initially. And also, sometimes this will give us some delays around whatever we're trying to accomplish. Now, this new moon will also form what we call a square to Neptune, and a square is difficult energy. Neptune's influence highlights some confusion and uncertainty, which is what Neptune does, and can show the tendency to get overwhelmed or take on more than you can reasonably manage. It can also indicate the need to navigate disappointment. Now, also watch for deception, self-deception, and procrastination. This new moon holds some fiery, passionate energy thanks to the addition of the planet Mars. So while Mars can cause tense emotions to bubble up and can sometimes also bring out hostilities and aggression, under the Sagittarius new moon, its energy shifts in a different direction. Under this new moon, we can more easily channel the motivating, confidence-boosting, energizing quality of Mars. There's also a strong healing energy under this new moon, and it seems like the boost from Mars can help us to recover quicker, find our strength faster, and make more progress on our healing journey. In fact, the Sagittarius New Moon is a great time to focus on healing and bringing yourself into a state of balance. So, the holiday season is upon us, with all of the extra errands and things that we have to do on our to-do list. So this can be stressful for many. So use this new moon to plant seeds of calm balance and think about what you want to manifest for the weeks ahead. Also, remember to practice self-care and remember that no is a complete sentence. I have to remind myself of that sometimes.
That's some of the best advice.
Thank you. Thank you. So now optimism through Jupiter's influence, because Jupiter is nothing but optimistic, might be sky high, but follow through could be tricky. So even though this new moon is an optimistic, willing to try anything once Sagittarius, it includes a mix of themes that might lead to a 2-week period from the new moon on the 12th until the full moon in Cancer on the 26th, where you might feel scattered as you try to keep up with many things at once. Jupiter standing still in Taurus might be the solution. Slow down, take your time. Now, another important influence is that Mercury, our friend Mercury, will begin its retrograde orbit the day after this new moon on December 13th. And honestly, you've probably been feeling the effects for the past 2 weeks because Mercury goes into what we call a shadow period 2 weeks before it turns retrograde. And you'll those of you who are sensitive to energy are probably feeling off. And you're like, what's going on? Well, Mercury is going on. Miscommunications are ahead thanks to this last Mercury retrograde of the year. And it jams up the signals until New Year's Day. Mercury retrograde can muddy our thoughts, jumble our thinking, and make it difficult to appreciate all the facts. Mercury cautions us to move slowly and to get organized. Now, if you have upcoming travel plans, which of course a lot of us do during the holiday season, Mercury retrograde reminds us to double check things and be extra patient with travel delays. Now, in addition to Mercury being retrograde, the airlines at this point in time are losing their minds collectively.
It seems to be, yeah.
Yes. My poor husband experienced a huge travel delay back in June. So with the added holiday traffic, along with your normal airline travel, leave extra time to get to the airport. Make sure, if you're able, that your schedule is somewhat flexible. My advice would be to assume that there's going to be glitches. So I would plan for the glitches. I would not say, oh, no, it'll be fine, and not have any backup plans. So I always have the feeling if I have a plan B, everything will go fine. If I leave it to chance, usually I'm regretting it, So save yourselves headache and stress and aggravation, and, make sure that you try to cover all your bases. We had a little trip, my husband and I, during Thanksgiving, and he drove because he said, I'm not getting on another airplane for a while, and we drove. It was a lovely trip, but we drove. So that also might be a thought. Maybe you might want to get in the car. So this time, Mercury backs up through 2 signs, Capricorn and Sagittarius. So if you have those signs prominent in your chart, you're likely to feel this retrograde more intensely than others. I'm sorry about that, you Sagittarius and Capricorns out there. And what I mean by prominent in your chart, if that's your sun sign, your moon sign, rising sign, you're going to feel this retrograde more keenly. I'll have a post about this in the Skywatch Journal with some tips and strategies and a special supplement to the newsletter. And if you don't get the newsletter, you can sign up for the newsletter on my website. So that will help you manage the Mercury retrograde while we're also trying to manage the holiday season. So now I'm going to take a short break. And when I come back, I'll have your horoscopes for the Sagittarius New Moon.
You can sign up for the Skywatch Journal at essentialzodiac.com. It's a monthly e-newsletter bringing you in-depth horoscopes and updates on celestial events, and there are occasional special supplements like the one Cindy just mentioned. While you're at the website, check out the current promotions with the Happy Birthday reading and the 2024 New Year overview. It's hard to believe that the new year is just around the corner.
That's for sure.
So back to you, Cindy.
Thank you, Audrey. Now, the horoscopes for the Sagittarius New Moon. Aries. The December new moon is giving you some much needed energy to explore outside your comfort zone and find inspiration. Expect changes in your relationships, such as making decisions to take the next step towards commitment. It could be a possible connection from your past or ending a relationship and closing out a chapter. One way or another, things will change. Taurus. This new moon may feel like a radical transformation, Taurus, so embrace the shifts. You may be feeling this new moon especially strongly, given that Jupiter is currently in your sign. The best thing for you to do during this new moon is to get back in touch with people, activities, and hobbies that help you feel carefree and free-spirited. You've earned it. You know, our little Tauruses, you guys are always worker bees, so take a break.
I accept.
Thank you. Yes, there you go, Audrey. Take a break. For Gemini, things are heating up in your partnership sector, Gemini. Let down your guard and use the fire sign's feisty energy to take back power in your relationship. This new moon in your sister sign, Sagittarius, is the perfect time to feel your feelings. Let it all out and leave it behind. Try letting go of your anger with a fire cleansing ritual or even just with some new moon journaling prompts to help clear your head. Cancer. The bold energy of the new moon poses the perfect time to retreat back into your sanctuary. It's a good time to introduce new habits and practices to your daily rituals. It's time to put your walls up and take some time for yourself. And with Cancer-friendly Jupiter ending its retrograde, you're feeling all the feels. Leo. Fellow fire sign Sagittarius is flooding you with inspiration, Leo. The new moon in Sagittarius will give you a chance to pause and embrace the fruits of your labor. Treat yourself to a special date night or go out with friends to blow off some steam. You're feeling extra confident and carefree, so embrace it. That's good advice for me, too. I like the inspiration part because I have to do the 2024 astrology forecast for you guys, so that'll come in very, very handy. Virgo, you've been keeping things under wraps lately, Virgo. The new moon is helping you get back to your roots as you continue to plan and plant seeds. Remember to lean on family or close friendships. You don't have to work alone. It may feel like you can finally catch your breath and assess things with a new eye. Embrace the slow moment and give yourself time to feel good about things. Libra, the new moon is inspiring you to go down rabbit holes and sharpen some of your skills. Your directness and honesty will take you far right now, but be cautious, as Sagittarius energy often walks a fine line between being blunt and plain rude. Remember to speak from your heart. You've been hustling in your career specifically, Libra, but it seems that romance has snuck its way into your heart. Who says you can't have both? This lunation is reminding you that you know what you want, and with a little hard work and a lot of honesty about what you want, you can have it. Scorpio. What makes you feel safe, Scorpio? While huge shifts may have thrown you off balance, the vibrant energy of the new moon is giving you the confidence to say no when you want without feeling guilty about it. Don't let others' opinions of you influence what you know to be true about yourself.
There it is again. No is a complete sentence.
Exactly. That's, I think, going to be my mantra for 2024. Sagittarius. Luck is on your side, Sagittarius. As per usual, the new moon in your native sign is inspiring you to take more risks and to explore exciting places, literally and figuratively. Everything from flirtatious feelings to communication to job opportunities feels easier to access today. So shoot your shot at whatever has been catching your eye recently. Capricorn. It's a great time for pause and introspection, Capricorn. The new moon is giving major revelations in hindsight, allowing you to expel unwanted energy and ultimately reminding you not to take life too seriously. You're always looking to improve yourself, and as a result, you take your loved ones' opinions of you to heart. Take this lunation to review all of the things you've accomplished this year and look ahead to where you want to go. Aquarius. Leaning on your community and friendship circle has been helping you along your journey, Aquarius. But this new moon is reminding you of the importance of taking a break and slowing down. Between work, school, friends, love, and being popular, you can feel your introverted senses kicking in. Don't fight it, and instead give yourself permission to retreat for a moment. We all need a little me time. Pisces. The new moon is making you feel a little vulnerable, Pisces, but don't let that intimidate you. This is a great time to focus on areas that help you shine. The new moon in Sagittarius will light a creative spark in your heart for a past project or maybe even an old romantic flame. Ooh, that sounds exciting for Pisces. So there you go. That ends today's episode. Our next episode will be about the winter solstice and the Cancer full moon. I hope you tune in. And remember, with astrology, you can chart your life's course.
Thanks for joining us for this episode of the Essential Zodiac Podcast. New episodes are published every other Friday on your favorite podcast host, as well as on YouTube. Look for Cynthia McNulty there, and on the website, essentialzodiac.com. If you're still looking for last-minute gifts, head to the website where Cindy has gift certificates and the New Year Good Luck bottle among her offerings. Maybe you'll find a gift there to give yourself for Yule or Christmas, like the monthly or daily transit forecast. This podcast is produced at Muddy Creek Studios.